that's enough of that.
And that's enough of that.
That's enough of that.
I was going for a sip of Coke, but no, then you stopped the loop. So I'm back.
Oh.
Welcome back, everybody, to Andertons TV.
Hello.
This is the beautiful, recently slimline version of Danish Pete.
I'm trying to keep it off. It's not easy, man. I'm telling you. You lose loads of weight and then you stop drinking, and then I eat snacks instead. Oh. So I eat sugar now. How do you stop that then?
Oh, it's bad, man.
It's
if someone could tell me...
It's instead of doing this, I'm just shoving in chocolates and all sorts of stuff.
Well,
anyway,
there you are.
Please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe.
If you want any more...
Oh, dear. Who is this on the telephone? Let me just answer it.
Yeah, do go for that.
Hello?
15 minutes later.
Anyway,
Anyway, don't eat chocolate, kids. Just drink alcohol instead.
Pete and I have been doing these kind of shootout videos recently.
Very interesting.
Sort of... it wasn't actually entirely driven by, you know, what could you buy that wasn't a Fender, although they kind of feel like they've had that sort of flavour. It was more about, you know, looking at guitars with a traditional radius, not maybe a vintage radius, but like a traditional radius, versus guitars with a flatter fingerboard and things like that. And I guess, you know, this particular video now is looking at Telecasters, whereas previously we've just looked at Strats.
Yeah, T-style.
Yeah, so we're kind of looking at relatively traditional T-style guitars, all within a sort of a similar price bracket. So Player Series from Fender is the benchmark.
Yeah.
That is a 9.5-inch radius, sort of £500-600 Telecaster. It's super popular.
Yeah,
tons of different
since
colours.
the 50s.
Yeah, loads of different colours, loads of, you know, different options in terms of fretboard woods and pickups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really popular. Comes out of the Mexican factory and is a real sort of benchmark for quality.
Yeah.
So, not trying to make a video to go, what else might you buy? Because if, you know, most of you will just go, yeah, that's what I want. Yeah. Well, that's fine. But maybe not all of you. No. So we've got a Sire T7. That's probably the closest in terms of just a like-for-like. It's got 2 single-coil pickups.
Yeah.
Slightly different bridge to the Player, a more vintage-style bridge, but it's got the same 9.5-inch radius neck, although a different calf. A couple of other features we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
G&L, kind of grabbed 2 G&Ls because really for me, G&L is George and Leo. Leo, it was one of the businesses Leo started after selling Fender. And I kind of feel like the guitar that, for me, is most of the essence of what Leo wanted to do was to not just do a straightforward Telecaster copy, and it was to move it forward. And so he had these jumbo MFD pickups and a different kind of bridge and all that kind of stuff. But demand was such that people just went, can't you just do more of a Telecaster copy? And so there are 2 versions of this shape by G&L is called an ASAT, and there are 2 versions. So you've got the classic, which is this one, which is more like that. Yes. And you've got the special, which is different. And then what's not to like about
I just picked this because of the purple burst. This is a Schecter PT Special. There's a P90 here. So, I mean, it's going that way, isn't it?
There's more and more guitars like that.
P90 in the front. I really like it because it's got a fatter kind of... It's just a fatter version of the single coil, and it's also got some series parallel tip-tap stuff here going on.
I mean, it's similar though to the Fender, so we thought we'd include that. It's got a slightly flatter radius fretboard, so it's maybe the least traditional.
He's got a bound neck and a tinted headstock.
And you've got spoon cuts and belly cuts and haircuts and all other things. So, who knows? In terms of rigs, throughout these recent shootout videos, I've stuck with a fairly affordable rig. So I've got a Laney Super Cub, little 15-watt valve amplifier, and I've got a very affordable pedal board, which you'll see now. Pete's stayed with the rig that he uses in almost all the videos we shoot, DP40 with his normal pedal board. Yeah. And what we normally do in these things is we start by me just doing some clean strumming on the 5 guitars that we've got, and then we blindfold Pete up and we get that sense of, can you tell what's what? Or sometimes when it's obvious what's what because, you know, we're knobs and switches are.
These are much more obvious than not so obvious as the previous ones we did. They were quite obvious, the first video, because they're all really similar. Oh, these are very similar. I don't know what I'm talking about, sorry about that.
But we'll see. So let's start. In fact, I'm going to start with the Fender, because that's kind of, I guess, you know, if you want to know what a Telecaster sounds like, then go and buy a Telecaster or try a Telecaster.
Yeah, it's such a classic. It's a wood with a piece of wood on it.
Okay, 3 sounds on each guitar, apart from that one.
It's a classic guitar, isn't it? It's
so
just...
My amplifier is a little 15-watt valve amplifier, so it's always going to be a sort of a slight edge of breakup kind of tone. Pete's amp has more headroom and is cleaner, but you'll see in a minute. So here we go.
Wow. And it's worth saying that they mentioned that the GNL pickups are the same as they use in the American ones, right?
Yeah, so these are the affordable tribute series,
yeah.
but the pickups and the bridges are, they use the same stuff on their American and
this sounds good, man. That sounded fat, that thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's dark. Surprised me. I didn't think that would be as pokey as the special, but it's it is. This is the Sire T7. Unbelievably popular range of guitars. Great value.
I love that guitar. It's
great value for the build quality.
Yeah. There was just some girl playing a Sire in the shop going, "This is amazing, this guitar."
Yeah.
It's only this much money.
Read the reviews on online. You'll love them.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely more like this, isn't it?
Yep.
Isn't
Absolutement.
Now this is a swamp bass body.
Is it?
It's quite light, see?
It is quite light. It almost feels chambered, doesn't it?
Yeah. Dennis Chambered.
Dennis Chambered, the famous drummer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It rings and resonates, doesn't it? I got a feeling that knob might give it away.
Well, the switch is the wrong way around, not wrong way, but you look at where the pickup selector is. So I
tell you what, I like that. I like the shape of that.
This bit
plate.
Here.
Yeah, I love that plate. That's more from the what's it called? So the Carbonita.
Yeah. So specs wise, you know, again, links are below, but fundamentally, we're talking about these 4 guitars here. The main differences are either the pickups or maybe the bridge is a little different, but up here, necks are all using a similar kind of carve. This one is the different one. What's going on here, by the way, is with the tone control pushed in, it's traditional switching. So you get the neck on its own, the bridge on its own, or in the middle, you get the parallel, you know, normal Telecaster vibe. Yeah. If I pull this out, regardless of where this switch is, it engages these 2 in series, so it gives you that humbucker kind of tone. It's there's more and more Telecasters now with that sort of extra sort of fourth position mod
Yeah.
coming in, which I think Pete and I have generally agreed is not a bad thing.
No, it's a cool idea, man. I've got it on my Britt Daniels.
I'm not going to be the one that sort of goes on about tones and feels and stuff, Mr. Pete.
Oh, yes,
I would
sorry.
like you to mask up.
Oh,
And
say.
yeah, of course, the one we didn't try in this one is this one, because this is like £4,000, whereas all of these are. I think
Yeah.
the cheapest one we've got here today is one of the GNLs that'll be down by the £400 mark, and the
Yeah.
dearest one is the Schecter at 600. Everything
priceless.
else is.
Purple is priceless.
It is. Right. So, YouTube, for
tickles.
the purposes of this particular blindfold segment, the guitars will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you, using the power of telekinesis, if that's such a thing,
YouTube kinesis.
are going to give me a number in my head, and that's the one I'll give to Pete. Well done, YouTube. Thank you so much. Right, Mr. Pete,
Yeah.
incoming guitar. Thank you for the cable. I shall just... You should be one of those people that can tell what the guitar is from the noise of the plug going into the jack socket. Are you aiming for your tuner pedal? Oh, he's got it. Look at that.
No.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's a big sound. Wow. That's definitely MFD pickups, so I would say this is a GNL. But it sounds too fat to be a normal.
Sounds too fat. Here, give it back. Thank you, sir.
Oh, sorry,
Thank
I've
you.
unplugged
That's
the
all
plug
right.
and
You
everything.
can unplug me. That's completely fine. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, we know that Joe Exotic is the Tiger King. Did you know that Danish Pete is the Telly King? Did you know that? Did you?
Telly King.
I mean,
also the
he
picture of me.
absolutely is.
Me with
Okay.
a purple tiger.
Guitar, T-style guitar numero 2.
Oh, that's more rolled. That's more rolled. See, now I'm listening back to when you were playing it, and the level drops in the volumes, and the tone of the pickup. And the roll board, and tells me it's a Sire. Anyway, I lost momentum then. Yeah, I think that's the. Oh, I'm not going to unplug it. I'm just gonna
So I
have it.
don't mind. I mean, so you think?
Oh, sorry.
You think that?
Well, that was it. The first one is a GNL. Oh. And the second one was the Sire, I think, because the roll board gives it a little bit away on the Sire. It sounds very familiar to play this one. That is a telly. That's the one.
That's the one, is it?
I think so.
Well,
it's just
who
got a
knows?
tone.
I mean, let's be honest with you. You've been
feels
wrong before.
I have been wrong many times.
Here's
Just ask.
another guitar coming in now. Let me turn your tuner off for you.
And the overdrive up. This is really nice. I like this.
That's the one.
There's a lot of go in there. Yeah, it's a GNL, I think, but I could be wrong.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Pete. There is one last one, which
I don't know if I'm
this is.
getting
In all fairness, this is the sort of this is the impossible one to disguise what it is as soon as you try and change anything. But hey ho.
Okay.
Neck
Okay,
pickup.
yeah. I mean, it's a fatter pickup, and it's slimmer neck like that, and flatter board, so it must be the Schecter. It's not a little. That's the wrong key.
Do the pulley.
I did.
You know.
Oh, my nose hurts. Oh yeah, pulley.
Well,
And that's definitely the Schecter.
Yes.
It's a nice playing, nice sounding guitar. End
you've
of.
been hanging around Rob Chapman too much because you basically just guessed everything. Well, not
Did
guessed,
I?
You just. The only thing to ask you is between the two GNLs, did you
Yeah.
think the first one was the special or the second one was the special?
Oh, see, I think the first one was the special,
Okay.
but that might be wrong with that one.
You might be wrong. Well, you are wrong, so at least we got one thing. Well, look, Blindfold, you know. Hopefully, you guys.
I think if I could play those again, I would probably know better.
I was
That
surprised
was the last one I
at
played,
how.
wasn't it?
That's right. I was surprised how little different. If anything, I almost felt like this one sounded fatter, which doesn't make much sense.
Well,
I am keen to revisit, you know, the sire and the player again, just to sort of see, because in the playing clips there, I thought they sounded quite radically different, but I don't know. There was we tried another guitar in between, I think. So it's sort of
try. Yeah, let me try the Sire here, and then compare that to because these three are very much different, aren't they? Where this one is definitely.
So what have you got? You've got the brass sort of vintage style saddles there.
Yeah.
This, I mean, Player Series actually on the telly uses quite almost like a hardtail Strat looking sort of bridge section.
Like the standard 90s, 80s.
Are they, this is a, do any of them give you the option to, are they all string through?
This one can string through here.
Oh, you can, so that can be a top loader.
Yeah.
All the others I can't see on that Schecter. Can you top load the Schecter?
Yes.
Yep, so you can top load the Schecter and the Sire.
They're the same.
They're actually the same bridge by the looks of things.
Yeah, they are the same bridge.
Interesting.
No, they're not. These are compensated saddles, see.
Oh no, yeah, Pete's right. So the Schecter's got the vintage style ones where the saddles are just tubes.
Yeah.
And then the Sire has the one where the tubes have got like they're like intonation compensated. Maybe we'll get some close-ups.
All in all, this is the spec-wise, and the one to price-wise is the one to go for.
It's not the cheapest one. It's not the cheapest one, but it's quite a lot less than the Fender and the Schecter. Yeah. It's a little bit dearer than the two GNLs.
Madeira. But I feel like it's missing a little bit. Now I'm taking the blindfold up.
Well,
but
it feels to me like it's a lower output, cleaner.
Yeah, maybe the pickups can come up slightly as well.
Well, I just feel like, it hasn't quite got the balls, but let's... Maybe not.
These two are very, very similar. Even feeling-wise, that's roller. The action is slightly higher on this. I'm going to say that. Yeah. But otherwise, they feel really similar, apart from the rolled fingerboard that's slightly more rolled. And I think this one has got 9s, where that one has got 10s. It feels slightly. I think they do 10s. Only balls on these. Maybe slightly brighter. I love the way that a telly can almost sound like a Strat. Neck pickup.
It's weird, isn't it? Could you play it acoustically? I want to see if those bridge saddles sound... People always say the big brass saddles add a certain...
That rings more.
A little bit,
where I'm sitting. And that rings more because this is a swamp ash body. I don't know, man. Again, I think it's really inconclusive. It's what you like when you pick the guitar up and what speaks to you when you play it, I think. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with this. And if you want something slightly different with the fatter tone on it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like I'd have to...
I really like this.
Yeah, you guys will have to dive on over to the Andertons website. There's something like £100 price difference between the Sire and the Fender, i.e. with the Sire being less.
Yeah.
It kind of feels to me like there's not really anything about the build on the guitars to really justify that price difference, but you're definitely going to get a better resale value on the Fender. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got the lock-in. If anything, maybe it's even slightly higher spec.
That's what I mean. The Sire, in my book, has got higher specs than this does, with the rolled edge and the nice the finish on the neck and the thingies and the things and the what and the whatnot.
Decisions. I mean, I think you're right. For me, in the GNL range, the ASAT Special is the one to go for. I'm loving this whole P90 single coil thing. I think we'll see a bit more of that in 2022. And then, what do you just... takes your picks between the two. Is it, are you the traditional, does the badge on the headstock mean...
But it does.
Something.
It does.
Yeah,
of course it does.
It does.
It's a heritage thing. It's like having a Gibson or a Heritage. It's the same thing. You buy. It's like Mercedes or Kia, or not Kia. It's not as bad anymore as it used to be. But or the Dacia. It's just whether you want a Mercedes badge or BMW badge, or you don't care. As long as it takes you from A to B, what's the difference? But there we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Another inconclusive shootout from Andertons.
Well, it's not really, is it? I mean,
it's
I think we can conclude all of these is that you have to come in and try guitars out. Oh, you can take our word for it and say none of these are bad. You know.
Well, that's
your you're not going to get a bad guitar.
I probably get Instagram messaged or Facebook messaged at least once a day with, "Dear Captain, out of these two guitars, which one would you choose?"
Yeah.
And my reply back is always the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which one I would choose.
Yeah,
it only matters which one you like.
Exactly.
You know, unless someone is literally asking two radically different guitars, and then maybe I can help with some advice.
No,
but
I'll still say there's the one you go into the shop and you look at the first guitar, you go, wow, that guitar's cool. That's probably the one you're going to end up with, even after you try all the other ones, because it literally sucks you in, doesn't it? So.
Yes. Well, on that note, I've been the Captain.
And I've been Danish Pete.
And yes, please join us in another video, probably either immediately or at the very worst tomorrow. Okay. See you next time. Bye-bye.